Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching this show from. My name is Denise Belil, and I'm a serenity expert and positive intelligence specialist. I'm glad to have you here on my show. It's all good. Look who's here for a chat. Today, I have Sam Rafoss as my guest, and I'll talk to you about her a little bit as we move forward. But first, I want to explain what is this show and why it's called It's All Good. First, I want to say if you're watching this show, please like the show. Subscribe if you're watching this on replay on YouTube. Please subscribe to my channel and put the little bell so that you can be notified whenever I have a new video coming up. Also, welcome our comments. So if you have comments, put them in the chat or below in YouTube, and always answer the comments, and my guest will be notified, and if it's a comment for her, we'll be happy. If you're watching this on replay, you can do hashtag replay and say that you were here and say hello. So the reason why this is called It's All Good, let's go here for a chat. First of all, because I pretty much always have guests on Monday whenever I do this show. Today is episode number 33. So I've been doing this show for the consecutive 33 weeks, which is really exciting. And also because it's my favorite cup, it's all good. And that's the way I think in life. I always look at what's around me and the situation in my life, and always see the gift in any opportunity that come my way. Sometimes we might think that something negative happened to us, an incident, a fight, a discussion, a heartfelt discussion, and then people, they come out of there feeling bad. For me, I say, hey, what did I learn from this conversation or that situation? How can I move forward? How can I grow out of this situation and understanding myself better, understanding others better? There's always opportunity where we can get gift in any situation, whether it's the past or the future. So my guest today, as I said, is Sam. And Sam is the founder and CEO of Love Love Brand You. And today the topic is transform from the inside out. So as you see, Sam and I, we have a lot in common. And Sam is the founder and CEO of Love Brand You and the host of Love Brand You on WinWinWomen.com. We both have a show on WinWinWomen.com. So I invite you to go visit that and see our shows. She's also a life coach, business mentor, metaphysical practitioner, certified holistic nutritionist consultant, certified master trainer, proud mama of 3 lovely daughters, devoted nana to an amazing grandson, dedicated practitioner of meditation, yoga, and holistic health, and recoping wine addict and activist. Her goal is to help women transform from the inside out, to guide you to reimagine your life and believe that anything is possible. She has worked with women and holistic entrepreneur over the last 20 years, helping them improve their health and or grow their business. So let's meet, welcome Sam right here with me. Welcome, Sam. It's such a pleasure to have you here with me.
Hi, Denise. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so glad you're here. And when we are entrepreneur like Sam and I are, and just to let you know, I asked her not even an hour ago if she would want to come on my show, and she said yes, because I had planned somebody else, and hey, it's all good. The other person couldn't make it, and here's Sam, and I'm so happy because we crossed paths several times in the last 6 months, and I'm so glad that I got to interview you today to get to know you a little bit more and allow the people that are listening to this videos to know you as well. So welcome.
Oh, thanks, Denise. And you say it's all good. I say all divine timing. So again,
Mm,
it's divine timing that I'm here today, whether it was planned or not. Somebody else planned it.
absolutely. So tell me a little bit about who you are as a business owner and a person, but how do you get to do what you're doing today? What's your path to lead you to where you are now?
And you know what? I laugh because I think, okay, which, I think
How
we
long
all
do
have
we have? You know?
exactly. Look at my time. And we all have different versions, I think, of where we're at
Mm-hmm.
and where we arrive now. And let's let's start with, okay, I was a social worker over
Mm-hmm.
20 years ago. That's where I was. And before I had my daughters. When I had my daughters, I knew that I just wanted to be a stay-at-home mom.
Mm-hmm.
However, once I was at home, I missed work. So what
Yeah.
did I do? I did what I knew. And I was always that person that I would just figure it out. I'd be like, okay, I can do something. But for me, it always had to be around the girls' schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So
Of
what
course.
I had done, I worked in foster care when I was a social worker. So I just thought, okay, what can I do around the girls' schedule? So I taught parenting classes. I taught one or two parenting classes a week. I created my own company. I just thought, how hard could it be? And I laugh now because you
Yeah,
can
I know.
imagine what it takes after 20 years of figuring
Yep,
things
been there,
out
done that.
and
Yeah.
succeeding, failing. So fast forward to a few years of doing that, and then I was teaching within those parenting courses. I was teaching them how to feed your kids healthy, because it was always a passion of mine. That led to me getting my nutrition diploma in holistic
Mm-hmm.
nutrition.
Yeah.
I worked in that part-time around the girls' schedule. I had a good part-time business. I had a few nutrition clients. I taught nutrition for different programs. I was like a contract educator. I always loved speaking. That led to, and I always say follow the path. For me, it was just always follow the path where it led. That led to my students asking me, Sam, you seem to have it figured out. You have your kids, but yet you have your business. And Denise, I know you and I are laughing because it does seem on the surface that we've got it all together, and
It
I'm
looks
not.
easy.
Exactly. It looks easy. And I think that what I said was always a little bit different, was for me was I just I just kept, no matter what, I just kept doing it no matter what.
Uh-huh.
One,
Uh-huh.
because I loved it, and because I'm the type of individual, when I decide something, it's the old, somebody said to me one time, "Oh, you're the dog with a bone, you never quit." And it's just my personality. So I I started helping women build their business, a
Yeah.
nutrition business. Then that led to working with other women in holistic and spiritual businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally was doing that till 2018. And in all honesty, in 2018, I had the podcast Love Brand You. And then I took a break. I took a break in 2019. And without talking too much about it, because I'll get teary eyed, my mom was ill.
Mm.
She passed away, and that was a reset for me.
Yeah.
And so I, I actually stopped doing my business for a while, and it took me a while to come back. It took me a while to check in with my heart, what I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
do. And when I decided to come back, and you had read in my bio that it said I was a recoping wine addict.
Mm-hmm.
And this is probably the first time I'm going to talk about it publicly. However, when I was coming back to my business and going through what we all went through in the last couple of years, I really had realized that I was using wine to cope.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, before I get back to my business, I really wanted to deal with that issue. And I was working at a couple other part-time jobs. I had income coming in, so I didn't necessarily need to do my business. However, I thought, what a perfect time to look after my health,
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
transform from the
Yep.
inside out.
Yeah, by helping others, you help yourself, right?
And I have always been that way, that I don't want to teach my clients or other women
Mm.
anything that I myself haven't gone through.
Yeah.
That's just who I am. So originally in 2020, when I was bringing my business back, I actually created a business called Sober Women Success,
Mm-hmm.
because I had come through this awakening of, stopping my wine addiction. And actually, Denise, I think it's 600 and, let's say 636 days. I'm not exactly sure,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
They're about, yeah,
for me, I knew I had to quit. I know
yeah,
some people can take a break, and I had a
yeah,
couple people say to me, "Oh, you don't have a problem." And I think it's not necessarily what somebody else says, it was how I felt.
exactly, exactly.
So I was
Yeah, I
doing
can see
that.
that.
I was doing that, yet what I really, really missed was helping women grow their business, and
Mhm,
especially helping coaches. Whether you're a holistic nutrition coach, whether you're a life coach like me, spiritual coach, like metaphysics is really important for me. So everything that I was doing, I kept saying, okay, where is it calling me? So that's how I came back to Love Brand You. Love Brand You had been the name of my podcast, which I stopped in 2018 when I took my break. And when I decided to come back and create my business, which was originally, samrafoss.com. I was originally branded under my name,
mhm.
where this time I felt such a big calling to just really create a brand out of Love Brand You. So it's everything is Love Brand You. That's I always talk about the umbrella. So my
Yeah,
umbrella is Love Brand You. It's my show name. It's
that's
my
fantastic.
program names,
Yeah,
and I teach transform from the inside out first, then we grow your business, or
yeah,
parallel. Let's say it's
yeah,
parallel
yeah, I
first.
agree with you.
So that's how I got here. That's the
Wow,
that's
that's a
the
great,
quick.
yeah, that's a great, yeah. Yeah, one day if we have a couple of hours, we can expand on the
Exactly.
details. But we all have the ins and out of, going in, going out of business. And I've done the same the last 10 years for me also, where, I've had to get out of my business for some personal reason. I had
Yeah,
some health problem and injuries and, name it, they came one after the other. And but now here I am. So the important is that, never giving up, always being here
yeah,
and be at service. And I feel like you, in a sense, I love when you said you feel that there's women out there that needs you. There are people out there that needs us, and that's why we persevere. That's why we keep going, because we know that there's some help we can provide to the people that are out there that can,
yeah.
use our knowledge and our experience and our expertise in order to get better. And so that's fabulous. Thank you so much for sharing. So tell me a little bit about, like, we'll go off topic a little, like you have three daughters,
Oh,
right? And you're grandmothers. So that's amazing. Like tell me a little bit about being a mother, and now they're all grown up, I imagine.
well, I I think I'm like any mom. My kids are the best, and I was that person. I come from a big family. I have three
Mm,
older sisters, two younger brothers, all in 8 years. My parents were the parents that wanted to have 10 kids, ended up with 6 kids. I had foster brothers and sisters, grew up on a farm in Saskatchewan, and I always wanted kids.
uh-huh.
However, Denise, by age 35, I was already divorced, no kids.
You had not
So,
started yet.
and so, as you can imagine,
Do I hear a clock ticking?
and so I at the time, and I mentioned how close I was with my mom. So I remember having this conversation with my mom and saying, and I had a lot of nieces and nephews too, have that I was very close to, so
Yeah,
I was the favorite
yeah.
auntie, I like to say. Anyway, I had said to my mom one time, well, you know what, I'm divorced, I didn't have any kids, and let's say it was just a very short marriage that was, I always thought, okay, I learned something from it, but it wasn't the right thing. So I had said to my mom, you know what, I think I'm just going to have a child of my own. And my mom said, you can do that. Just realize that it's going to be tough, but, I can't stop you.
Mhm.
Anyway, I thought about it. And then I went, you know what? And I always talk to God. I always
Mhm.
just say, okay, God, if it's supposed to be. So it was the same thing with the kids. So in 1998, I think I was finishing my social work, or whatever year it was. And I had said, okay, God, if I'm supposed to have kids, you'll make it happen. And I forgot about it. And I literally just dove into school and, work and everything. And Denise, In 1999, I met the girl's dad through another friend. We both wanted kids. So from 2000 to January 1st, 2005, my last daughter was born. So in 4 years, I had three daughters. So it was kind of like God said, okay, you want kids. And it was absolutely like, it was the best.
That's
It
wonderful.
it was the best. They are my everything. It's why I do what I do. It's why
Mhm.
even even anything that's tough in my life, I always think I have three daughters, and
That's
they have a wonderful father. We have been divorced 10 years. We co-parent wonderfully together. However, as the mom, Denise, being a mom, that we have to be the role model for our
yeah.
daughters.
Yeah.
So that's always been my goal, to be as healthy as I can be, body, mind, spirit. That's really what I work on. So yeah, so my daughters are 21, 19, and 17. They're all doing fantastic. And my oldest daughter has my fabulous 2-year-old grandson, Carson, who is like, again, he's my world.
Of course.
We just I spend as much time as I can with him. Our favorite thing is to run outside. He just loves being outside. So he just, Nana, stroller. It's like, okay, we're going. So it's
Oh, that's fabulous.
that's my
I'm
world.
so happy for you because I could feel when you were talking that was important to you, and that's
Oh,
why I want to bring it up because
yeah.
it's amazing, like to have. I don't have children. I have cats.
Oh,
I guess
and you
that
know what? I
counts,
thought you said kids. Sorry, Denny. I was thinking,
No,
you know
no.
what? I'm mistaking you with Marie, because
Oh
Marie and
yeah,
I
yeah.
thought
She has a couple of
another
kids. Yeah.
lovely friend of
No,
ours.
I don't have kids, but I'm happy with that. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
choice, right? Like
And
it's.
animals are like your kids.
Oh yes, I had two cats. They were together 15 years ago. They were born,
Oh,
and I lost one last fall because he was sick. So I had to help him transition because it's not good to keep a sick cats
no.
around.
But
But I
that's
was thinking,
still
having a
15
pet,
years.
imagine it's like having your child beside you all the time,
Yeah.
right? I
Mhm.
spend a lot more time with my pet than you spend with your daughter, right?
Oh, absolutely. And
Because I work
especially
from
now.
home and everything. So, but
And
that's
you're
okay. Like I've worked my grief, like I'm
yeah.
I'm happy with the one that's left, and I give him all my love, and
Oh,
anything he does, it's like, yes, you love you. You come and give
oh,
me
of
wet
course.
kisses in the morning, and it's like
Um, they're
like his nose on
they're
mine,
our
and like
babies. They're our babies. We
yes, they're awesome.
we have a dog. We have a dog
Yeah.
that a little mini schnauzer that came to us when Erica, our youngest, was 6 months old. That
Mm,
dog is still alive.
that's
And
awesome.
we all talk about, how is Maddie still with us yet,
That's
here
awesome.
she is 16 years later.
Well, smaller dogs live longer than
Yeah,
bigger dog, I think. So,
yeah.
so far so good.
So far,
So tell me about because we're both on winwinwomen.com or .tv. So tell
yeah.
me what brought you to do that show, and what type of show do you have? Who do you have in your shows, and how do you help women through that?
Okay. Well, I got involved with WinWin Women, I believe, the fall of 2020. I I
Wow.
became one of the thought leaders on WinWin Women Network, and that's how I met the amazing Paula Fellingham, who
Yeah.
heads winwinwomen.com. And I just love the concept of the fact of creating that community and being a
Yeah.
part of women, supporting women truthfully, and
Hmm.
I'm always about the energy. Of course, I'm always about how does it feel. Does it, I check in when I'm praying or meditating. I'm always checking in, is this the right thing for me to do?
Hmm. Hmm.
And from the moment that I became involved, it always aligned. And I know that's an overused word, but I did feel
Yeah.
in true alignment with it. So when
Yeah.
I heard, I think early 2021, when Paula was introducing the concept of win-win women TV shows, I was all in. For me, it was just like, okay, I'm doing this. And and
And
here, true confession, I've spoken, I've done so many presentations. I did the podcast. However, I was always shy to be on video. I don't know what it was.
you were
I
behind the microphone, but not in front of
exactly.
the camera.
I could do everything very, I could do podcasts every day. I could go speak to an audience. I could do this kind of format and speak to people online. However, when it came to video, and if you go to my YouTube channel, I think I have 11 subscribers, but I had the channel like 3 years ago and kept planning I was going to do video. And I
Mm-hmm.
just thought it's, as coaches, we have to teach our clients to do things that make you afraid. And when Paula talked about this is a video platform, I thought, oh my goodness, this is like one of my fears, to actually commit to a weekly show.
Uh-huh.
However, it's been the best thing I ever did.
Oh,
The
yeah.
absolute best
I
thing,
agree with
because
you.
it you have to create your content weekly. I'm having so much fun with it because I get to share the content I want. So I created my show around the framework, Love Brand You, of course, but it's also the framework of how I coach people in the 6 areas of life that I coach. So with career, relationships, well-being, spirituality, money, health. So, and it's the logo too. If you see the logo in the middle of Love Brand You, it's 5 or 6 petals. It looks like
Mm-hmm.
it's mandala. Then, there's always subtle little things that I think we put into our business. But um, when I decided to do the show, I thought, because I use so many metaphysical principles and tools in coaching my clients, whether it be, personally or professionally, whether they're wanting to improve their health or their business, I made Love Brand You, the show, faith and inspiration for you to succeed. So
Mm-hmm.
I take content based on those pillars. So one month it might be about health and I focus more on health. One
Mm-hmm.
month it might be about spirituality. My guests that I have on the show are typically women like you and me, and spiritual thought leaders, or women that look at their business in a more spiritual or faith based way.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I do on Love Brand You, and I love it. I'm having so much fun with it. And from show one, I don't know about you, Denise. And okay, I'm just being really real here. So from show one, I remember how nervous I was because I'm on camera,
Mm-hmm.
and I just kept thinking, listen, you've been doing this and you've done the podcast, and like, you don't have to be worried. But I remember the feeling where now, 3 4 months later, I think I'm into episode 22, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm just excited every week.
Yeah.
And whatever happens, happens. So I mean, I
Well, my
prepare. Don't get me wrong, I prepare.
oh, of
I
course, of course.
I have a structure every month. I know which, I think I've got guests lined up for the next couple of months. I usually only interview 1 or 2 guests a month, and then
Mm-hmm.
do one or then I do 2 or 3 shows of content.
Yeah.
However,
Yeah.
it's all
It's all
structured.
content. It's just, whether
It,
it's a guest or
yeah,
you. Yeah.
I'm just not as afraid anymore.
I hear you because I've been wanting to do camera live show for a while, and I kept saying, oh, I'll do that, I'll do Facebook Live one day, I'll do this, I'll do that. And I was working with a lady last spring and early summer, and I was like, I got to make a decision. And then that's when I decided in August to do my first Facebook Live. And that
Oh,
lady I
I
was working
commend
with,
you.
she became my first guest, and then I added other guests, and then it just one after the other, and then people I meet, and today you. And but when WinWin Women opportunity came to me, it was just like, wow, this is another challenge. And now we're on, Amazon Fire, Roku, and
Yeah,
Apple TV, and that's step up, right? Like that's another
that's right.
step. Like we can reach people from all around the world that goes onto those channels and
Yeah,
be able to hear our show. And I think that's amazing to be able to assist and to help so many women around the world,
yeah,
and not just women, because anybody can tune in, but the
that's
idea
right.
is a show by women for women, And I think that's really pretty incredible. The work that Paula put
Oh,
together, and that we all help now support and work together. So it's pretty
yeah.
amazing. So
It
tell me,
it's
how would people reach you if they want to know more about you, if they want to work with you or understand more what you do? You have your show, so
I have
we'll
my
share
show.
that in the comment. Your own show
Sure.
on WinWin Women, and also how else can they reach you?
Truthfully, Denise, you can find me on lovebrand.com. I'm on LinkedIn. I love to connect. If you're on LinkedIn, again, search my name, Sam Rafoss. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest. Um,
You're everywhere.
I, I have Snapchat, but only because of my daughters. That's the way I get a hold of them. If I'm texting and they don't get a hold of me, then
You go
I
on
send them a
Snapchat. Yeah.
Snapchat and I try to be like them and they laugh at me that, I'm not doing it properly. And I have not embraced TikTok yet. And I say
Uh-huh.
yet, knowing that I don't know if I will. However,
Yeah.
if you search my name, like you'll find me, and I love hearing
Wonderful.
from it. Like, send me a message. I really just love having conversations with people to start out with. Again, it's not to for people to get a hold of me, and I'm not the get a hold of me, pitch my programs or anything. Everyone I meet with, it always starts out with a conversation first. That's it. and
Hmm.
and whether I can help, I always find out how can I help, and whether that's just with some information or we discuss what it might be like working with me,
Hmm.
but it all
So,
starts with a
so who
conversation.
would be your ideal client? Like if somebody was to recognize themselves listening to this video, so who would be your ideal clients, and why would they want to work with you?
My perfect clients are women. I have worked with a couple men, well, a few men, but
Hmm.
usually it's because they have seen my work or they've heard me talk, and
They felt
they might be in
compelled.
a spiritual or a faith based practitioner. So anyway, my perfect clients that I work with are holistic nutritionists. So
Hmm.
I graduated from the Canadian School of Natural Nutrition. So I have helped quite a few nutrition professionals, life coaches, and health and wellness coaches, spiritual coaches, and I help really at the beginning stages. So I help a lot of women with what I call the foundation. What I find is, especially I lead a coaching group each week, and what I find with beginning coaches is you're either stuck, you're not sure what you want to do, you want to coach and help people. However, how do you clarify your purpose?
Hmm.
How do you increase your confidence? So I do help a lot of women really really see what they're, because I'm sure you see it too with people you work with, Denise. You're talking to them and you're really seeing how brilliant they are and what they do and what they bring to the table. Yet when you're trying to say it back to them to say you're so good at what you do, without, I think, having that clarity, it's hard to get the confidence. So I always say, let's
Yeah.
get you clarity, let's get you confidence and systems. So how to set up the foundation, what kind of business do you want? Do you want one-on-one? Do you want group coaching? Do you want to do more speaking? I go through what I call like just a beginning of, if you could have any dream business, what would it look like, the out. So I go through a lot of the foundational principles
Yeah.
and focus on the best ways to leverage themselves, whether um, whatever platforms that they might need to use. I explain how to be there um, solidly. And then we talk about lead generation. I do a lot of practice with, how do you have your first session? What's that like? Because a lot of people even get stumbled up on that first
Yeah,
session.
of course, of course.
And it's
Because
not
once
about,
you have a structure, you follow that structure, but you
that's
need
right.
to build that
That's right.
structure. You need to know the steps for sure.
Or getting caught up in, oh wow, I'm going to be talking to somebody, oh I'm and getting that weird feeling in the back of your head that, oh, I have to sell them. And it's, so I really have
Yeah.
a lot of conversations about just that, starting out, how to get your feet really comfortable
Hmm.
in your business, what you're going to do, how you're going to do it. And there is a lot of practice with what I do, because I find new or struggling practitioners, it's just figuring out what works for them. And I
That's
do have
great.
some systems, and I'm actually creating a program that starts in May. I'm not ready to put anything out today here on your show because we did this so quick, but I'm starting a group program too in May, so I'll be putting more information out on that. However, yeah, I work with beginners and those that maybe have been in business for a while and you're not. I always say, are you on your way to 5K a month,
Mm-hmm.
10K a month? What's your goal?
Yeah.
And I can help you get there.
Wonderful. That's awesome. And if you have a business, or if you're even thinking of getting that started and moving forward, I think it's worth having a conversation with you, and perhaps they can get themselves ready for whenever you're ready to launch your group program, right?
Oh, that's
So
right.
it's
And
time to
Denise,
have that conversation right
yeah,
now. And
and
and if
it's
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 not made,
always a
they'll be
conversation.
they'll be later, right? I'm
That's
sure
right.
it's the first of
Yeah,
many.
that's right. And it never hurts to have the conversation. And I only work with people when they're ready. And I
Mhm.
also I also have like a mini application program, because I don't believe that, oh, you have the money, okay, let's work together. And I'm
Mhm.
just
Mhm.
as committed to, is this a match? Am
Yeah.
I the right coach for you?
Mhm.
So that's really important for me.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to have you here today.
Oh,
And
thank you.
you're welcome. So stay there. I'll be right back. So thank you everyone for listening. I'm so happy that you stick to the end. So I would like to remind you, if you watch this on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel and press the little bell so that you'll be notified whenever I have new videos. If you've watched that on Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter or somewhere else, please just give me a heart, give me love, give me something, give me a message. That's what you've listened. And if you have any question for Sam, don't be shy. Just put it in the chat, and you'll have the information on how you can reach her. So if you want to talk with her later. Thank you so much for listening. And until next time, I'll see you next Monday at noon Pacific. Until next time, be kind to one another. Goodbye.